plan to do. Yeah. What's going on, tribe? Inga. There she go. Indigo Blue. Ella, welcome back. I miss you, Ella. Papa Midnight. What you know about Papa Midnight? Come on now. Come on. I hear you, Papa Midnight. I see you. Supreme Sorcerer. I see you. Miss Castle, what it is? Boss Lady, what's up? Coletta. Borderick, what's going on? Just our touch. Aloha. I want to say Dara Luty. I hope I got that right. Y'all know I like to hit see little abbreviations and thing if if I jumble your name. Katrina, Callie, what's up? Simply, what's going on with you? These are playing cards. I didn't know. I thought these was Latero. Oh, I'm not gonna read that. Georgia. Oh, Joy. Hey, everybody. So I'm going to jump on into this thing because I think we got a lot to talk about. And I told you moving forward, it's going to be a little bit intrusive into your life because I need you to truly heal from all this stuff and I need you to be able to connect with your ancestors on a proper level. Now, moving forward, everything, it may not be a prayer, it may be a prayer, but it's going to be something that's going to challenge you guys. And today we're going to talk about grief. Now, people don't look at it, and I've been studying this damn thing for I'm going to say 7 days, getting really into it. So when people look at the word grief, they think death, they think things of that nature there. Hey, y'all, I have lost weight. I just looked at the camera. I have lost weight. This right here is a workout belt. I'm trying to cut the board out, but I'm not fat no. I'm not fat no more. I did my thing. But yeah, so when we sit up here and we talk about grief, people like to think about sadness, death, leaving somebody. But from what I found out about grief is it's an instilled emotion. It's an instilled emotion that triggers a subconscious. It's an instilled emotion that triggers a subconscious and a physical reaction. And I'm going to explain because this is something that we don't know how to process properly. And I've just been going hard, and I think I've discovered how to help us process grief properly. Now, some of you guys are grieving right now. The holidays just passed. Some people was alone. Some people passed away. Some people just couldn't make it to where their family were. Some people just don't got family at all. So that set upon a sense of grief inside of us. Now, with that grief inside of us, we don't know how to process it. The first thing come from is sadness. So I'm not with my mom, my sister, my son, my child is in the military, my father is in the military, we got a divorce, separated, somebody has to be with somebody for the holidays because they in the hospital in a whole nother country. whatever scenario that got you isolated and alone, feeling isolated alone in your heart, this is what we're going to process this morning. Now, when we think about grief, or like let's say with the holidays just passed, we're on that line of woe is me. I'm going to say it again now. If I step on your toes, pick your motherfucking foot up and walk to the other side. I want you to heal. When we think about grief, we think instantly of ourselves, what we have lost, how we are affected, what the fuck we gonna do. We look into ourselves, and when we look into ourselves, we see all the nasty and selfish shit that we could have enjoyed with that particular individual or that particular situation or that particular item. So selfishly, we sit up there and we hate it. We're angry, we're upset, we're mad because we feel like it's a loss to us when it should be the other way around. If you experience the loss, somebody gone out your life, whatever, you don't get the right to say, damn, I could have done this. Damn, I could have done that. It comes to the point where you're saying, I feel so sorry for that particular thing. Because that particular thing is being denied you. You're not being denied it. Now, it's gonna come. I hope it don't go over your head, because I want you guys to heal. Because we got some more holidays coming up. We got New Year's. You got Christmas. You got Valentine's Day. Them the big three knock your ass on your ass there. When you can't be with the one you love, or you can't be with the one you with, or you can't just do what you gotta do. Them the big three. So whoever knew the last month out of this calendar year and the first 2 months of the calendar year will bring more sorrow, strife, and stress to your life than any situation you can face. Listen to me good, people. December, January, and February tears a lot of people down in those 3 months. You done worked on yourself all year. Thanksgiving come, what you say? I'm thankful for love, life, happiness, prosperity, money, get it up. Christmas come around, somebody ain't there. New Year's come around, you got there partying just trying to get something here to feel fulfilled. Valentine's Day come around, now you're looking for something to love. Now you're questioning the one you got beside you. Now you're questioning if your kids love you. Now you're looking for a heart, a gift, a cyber email saying, hey, I value you. All that shit bring grief because naturally it's not from the one you want it from. Now listen to me. You may be with the love of your life. You may be with your kids. You may have all your family members around you. But keep in mind, there's something, someone that is missing from over the years. Great grandma, grandma, uncle, daddy, sister, brother, cousin. Now, through all those heavy hitters, December, January, and February, we don't process grief because we mask it with items, laughter, and pretending. So today, I want to show you guys how to master your grief, because you guys got an upcoming motherfucking event that's going to tear your ass up. I'm finna make a little joke in here, but not joking. You have the side pieces, men and women, because both is side pieces nowadays. They can't be with the person they want to be with. Hold on. That's grief is a motherfucker. That's that Valentine's grief. That's that New Year's grief. Christmas grief. I don't know about that. Then it would go with this one. This shit blew my mind. So when it comes to these last 3 months, you have that grief that stems around objects, Christmas, New Year, Valentine's. These things represent objects. Some people don't get a toy. Some people ain't got a house. Some people ain't got cars. Some people ain't got food. Some people ain't got no one to say I love them. Some people ain't got that. So when you look at December, January, and February, come New Year's, you ain't grateful, you ain't thankful, you ain't happy for the new revolution to come in on nothing. Valentine's Day, you may have your wife, your husband beside you, your mate, but when that person hugs you, it's like you rationalize everything they ever did in your mind. All the bad shit, all the hurt, the pain, the cursing, the arguing, the lack, the quick fucking, all that stuff. You reference that on that day and it hurts and you grieve and you in pain and you said, damn, why couldn't it be different? Why did it have to go that way that year? Why couldn't that person show me this type of love and affection all year long? And then you hit grief. So people fake that shit and say, oh, Valentine's Day is a day of love, joy, romance. Only time men and women buy each other gifts is because, and real nigga shit here. So y'all can say no, don't agree, don't matter to me. Only reason we buy women flowers, gifts, candy, and all that other shit is to make up for the fuck shit we did during the year, whether known or unknown. I haven't seen one relationship, and listen to me good. Y'all, I'm teaching y'all how to process grief. I haven't seen one person in one relationship do something just because. Now y'all may say, Baron, that's stupid. I love my lady. I love my man. I go fix him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, glass of milk all day long, just cause. Look deep into yourself. It's because you're hurting. It's because you want something out the deal, or you want some kind of recognition. You want some kind of notoriety. So you go and do that. And let me tell you how you can understand it. You go and do something nice for your mate, your partner, whoever, and you end up waiting beside them to see if they're going to give you that thank you look, to see if they're just going to say thank you out the head, see if they're going to acknowledge and make amends, or just say, hey, attaboy, good job, go ahead, girl, you my baby, all that shit there. We look for it. Now, we know how the situation go. I'm trying to help you guys deal with grief. Now, if you have dealt with your grief, with everything that came before you, all the problems, situations, accusations, all that stuff, and you have dealt with it throughout the year, when it comes down to that December Christmas, you don't want no gift. You just want to sit back and speculate and watch it. You got that joy inside your soul. When it comes to New Year's, you ain't got to rush out to a party or go see, can you fill yourself up with booze? You ain't got to do that, because you are looking at the simple fact that I am already fulfilled. I got the joy in my heart. If I want to call my girls or my homeboys and we go out, we ain't going out to get drunk. We going out to do what again? Speculate, observe, view, take in the smells, the sounds, the lights. You can't do that while you're intoxicated, because if you're intoxicated, you're covering up grief. Why do you think winos and drunks, they drink alcohol? Why do you think at every funeral service there's always alcohol somewhere? Because we learn how to process grief by masking it with another emotion. Now, this masking came into play back in the days of when we came to America, slaves and the slave trade when we came to America. Because in Africa or in America, when there was blacks, let's say prior to colonialism. Prior to colonialism, when we dealt with grief, it was a joyous thing. It was a celebration. Oh, Melvin has transitioned on. Let's clap. Let's joy. Let's throw a party. Let's throw a parade. And there was no liquor permitted to be drunken. There was no intoxicants permitted to be drunken, because you're calling down to the heavens of joy. And you're whelping that person up. You don't want to say the wrong thing, because keep in mind, your inner demons come out once you're intoxicated, high or drunk. So you don't want that energy as you send that thing off to which you value to the netherworld, to wherever, to be held, loved, and chosen by a different version of you, or etc. But we'll get into metaphysics a little later. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? If it's going over your head, I'll slow it down a little bit, because I know in my mind it works. I see the end result, and I'm trying to talk my way through the end result. So if you guys don't understand it, just let me know and I'll change up a little bit. So now, in order for us to grieve properly, we need to understand that it is not our loss. It is not our loss. It's their loss. It's its loss. It's that situation's loss. Because they are being denied the privilege, the pleasure of us. Well, Baron, bitch, I love Grandma Nana, and I love my uncle, and I love my daddy, and I love my kid, and I'm still grieving because they gone. I love my husband, I love my wife. I'm grieving because they gone. You're grieving because of selfishness, because you didn't understand that that thing wasn't yours to keep. It was for you to enjoy. And we grieve because we don't understand that once we have enjoyed something, it is no longer ours. It comes and goes when it's supposed to. We had the situation of holding on. Now, let's take it back to after colonialism. When it came down to the slaves, or when it came down to the serfs, or whatever you want to call them, and I'm just going off of the African diaspora because, hey, I'm black as shit. So, when it come down to after colonialism, when we was getting sold off, or we was getting lynched and we was getting hung, it didn't become a celebration anymore, because we was wrongfully taken, and we was in a set of a state of pain, remorse, sorrow, grief from being distanced or being under someone's rule. So grief amplified till, what about me? Why did you leave me? Why am I alone? Why am I still here? You see how the why am I versus I enjoyed you for the time I had you, and for some odd reason God, universe, source decide to go, or you decide to walk out my life because I was no longer serving your purpose or resonating with your energy. I'm going to take it down from the heavens and bring it to the earth here. Let's talk about relationships. How many of us is grieving right now due to a lost relationship, a lost love, or can't be with the one you love? You probably had a great conversation with that person so much it touched your soul, and you realize that person was with somebody else, or you realize that person was too far away. So then you grieve for the loss of that conversation versus looking at it as what it is. I had a great time while we was together. I had a great emotional experience. I was fulfilled, and my life was made valuable at least for 5-10 minutes of that person being with me. So I can't get mad at that person for moving on. I can't get mad at that person for saying that my energy don't resonate with them anymore. I can't get mad for the loss of that object that I so desired selfishly. Am I making sense? See, when the yogis and the philosophers and everybody come at you guys and they try to say you should not attach yourself to anything. Do you know that's the number one cause of grief? Because you tell me what man, woman, child, animal, anything can walk this earth and not attach itself to something? How can you be born flesh and blood, carbon 661? How can you be born, have a consciousness, be sanctioned, and not feel a connection to anything? So when I went on this vacation, this trip, this study, I paid a good little deal of money to go sit with these people and learn, and to really invest in my education. So I came back a little bit different. No remorse, no fear, no nothing, because I understand the story and it's all bullshit, people. You're the most important thing on this planet. You're the most important source of energy walking right now. You, me, we. So when I learned that, and it came to me quick, I'm not going to let any religion stop me. I'm not going to let any emotion cloud my judgment. I'm not even going to let the ones that I love, the one that I die for, cherish, all that shit. I'm not going to let them stop my growth in any form of fashion, nor should you. This is where grief kicks in. We hold ourselves back, and we hold ourselves up, not for the simple fact that we will lose that thing, that object that we value, that make us feel good selfishly. We're saying that we could potentially lose it. So we'll hold ourselves back. Some women won't even do their hair, get their nails done. Some women won't even sit up there and go to the gym and get in shape. Some brothers won't sit up there and say, "Hey, baby, I don't enjoy fucking you. I need a little bit more extra in the bedroom. I need a porno woman." Because we don't want to offend that person. Some guys sit up there and take shit Because the woman don't know how to cook, but you make her feel good. You've been eating burnt spaghetti for a whole fucking 20 years. Just because you grieving for the simple fact that, man, if I tell her, I'm going to lose that. Women, dudes come out there, do you dirty, hurt your feeling, treat you like shit, talk to you like shit, but you like, oh, he's damaged, so I don't want to lose him, or I don't want him to grieve. I don't want him to hurt for the loss of me. That's where you got it fucked up at. I'm saying a lot because I want you guys to understand, because we're going to learn how to process this grief inside of us. This is what I learned over there about grief. So now, when I tell you grieving is the most selfish thing we can do, would you believe me? Grieving is so selfish. We can process the situation. We can have a memory of what happened. We can think about the joyous times we had. We can think about the sorrowous times we had with that object. With that object. Simple as put. Our phone. Let's take it away from human nature. Let's put it on an object. Our phone. We love this thing. It connects us to every single person. But when we lose it, our life is in turmoil until we get another one. When the service go off, our life is in turmoil till we get another one. Why? Why are we grieving over an object that we can easily go and purchase another one? Because it made us feel good. It gave us something to do. It took away our thought process. It gave us a distraction from how we truly feel. When the power go off in your house and you can't turn on the TV, you grieve, because that's that joyous thing. Now, I'm giving you objects that make everybody feel good, that everybody use. When you lose your mother, when you lose your father, you're not saying, okay, that person that was great to me, that person can go do this, that person can go. You're saying, damn, I wish I had more time. There was so much we could have done together. There was so much I wanted to say. Notice those eyes. Notice how you're involved versus saying, I miss that person, I love that person, but that person is gone. No more sorrows, no more stress, no more pain. You process grief like that. We was taught that when my mama passed away, I had to be the one to go and close the coffin. My sister, who my mama loved to life and death. My other brothers, because I got treated a little shitty in my family. My mama loved them. They could not close the casket. I had to walk up there and close the casket. And I think that was the only time I cried at my mama's funeral until her birthday come around on Mother's Day, and I just weep up something like that. I got a right to be selfish here and there. I had to go and close that casket. And closing that casket, I can't remember the door shutting. Only thing I know that I walked up there and somebody put their hand on my back and told me it was okay to grieve. And when the deacon, and it wasn't nobody in my family, it was one of the pallbearers or the people from the funeral home. And they said, go ahead and cry. It's okay to grieve. And I did. I let out the biggest fucking yell that I could imagine. I just poured it all out. Just, and I fell and started crying on the casket. Didn't know why. Because I got treated like shit by this woman. I didn't know why I was grieving so hard due to somebody that treated me bad, always had a negative word to say about me, was gone. Then I had to think about it. In a split second, when I'm laying on the casket, tears rolling down my hands and shit, I was being selfish. My mom passed away because she was suffering in that nursing home for the past 6-7 months. Couldn't move. You telling me I'm so fucking selfish in my grieving process that I'm gonna pray that she stays around forever in that condition? Because God ain't looking to restore nobody. I had to wake up and say, that lady is okay. She ain't got to worry about not moving no more. This is a celebration. Although I didn't get the love and desire, respect, and honor that I wanted from this woman, a lot of my brothers and sisters did. A lot of people had nothing, not a negative word to say about my mama. So I had to respect her and love her for that alone. And I had to let her go in my heart because she brought joy to those who she was supposed to bring joy to. If I didn't get that chance to love her, to hug her every time I walked in that room, or she say, baby, you just the sweetest thing, most handsome man, I didn't get that. I got you a monster. I can't stand you. You're too violent. You're too reckless. That's what I got. Never a nice word. So that wasn't for me. And only thing I was grieving, cuz when I look back at it, only thing I could grieve due to my mama's passing was the simple fact that I didn't get a chance to make her love me. Look how selfish that was. I'm not saying I didn't deserve it. I want what I want. And as a mother, she's supposed to do what she did. She had a job to do. But because I didn't get it, I wanted to keep that woman alive just so in the hopes of one day that she would love me, that she would care and respect me. A lot of people, a lot of you guys right now are just keeping people in your life with the hopes that they will love you instead of breaking that ass off and letting that person go so you can grieve. I'm teaching you how to process grief, people. You keeping that girl around you don't want to be with, pimping. Sister, you dealing with this man just because he got a big old cock. He make you feel good. He look good on your arm. He got $1 million. He invest in you, but yet he treat you like shit. Yet that ain't who you want. You don't want him. Same thing with the fellas. You don't want that person. That person ain't adding no more value to your life, but you keep it around in hopes that it will be okay versus saying, hey, baby, I'm out of here. I need to start this grieving process. I need to thank you for the time that we were together, the time we spent fucking loving, enjoying each other. But it's time for you to go because it's time for me to get the fuck out your face. No hate, no harm. If you choose to hate me, by all means, go ahead. There's a lot of hate out there. Enjoy yourself while you're doing it. But I'm not going to hate you. I'm going to go. You process your grief in a split second. Because then you got that time to reflect back on the things that you did with that person, the times you shared, the good moments. And once you say, okay, I enjoyed this, we had this, and you acknowledge that we had it and now we don't need it anymore, I can move on. I can start a new chapter. I could be somebody different. I can look for that which I didn't get from that person, from someone else who's going to love me and cherish me and do that. Your grief process is over. Your grief process is over. And now you're a better person. Now I'm going to get into another part of grief. I'm going to get into another part of grief here. Let's go into a little more violent form of grief. I'm going to look at you right quick, people. Trigger one. So, going into a little more violent version of grief, let's go into the part of grief to where you done got in a fight with somebody. I mean, you done kicked somebody's ass or they done kicked your ass. And you get up and you heated. And you mad because you just didn't have a win. You couldn't pull that out your bag no matter what you did. You came to Bruce Lee, Dragon Crane style, then you went niggeristic 52 blocks. You just couldn't pull out a win and somebody whooped your motherfucking ass. You feel defeated. And the only reason you feel defeated is because you're having grief that you couldn't come out on top. Y'all seeing the pattern of grief here. It's a selfish emotion. You got your ass handed to you in various forms, in no matter what, in any kind of form or fashion. And then you sit up there and say, I didn't win because, or I'm going to go back and hurt that person. I'm going to go and do something very detrimental to that person's character, that person's family, that person's household. All because you don't know how to process your fucking grief. All because you didn't realize, why did I get in a fight with this particular individual? Why did I yell at my spouse? Why did I curse? Why did I take that butcher knife and chase them? Why did I sit up there and pull that weapon on that person? Why did I sit up there and assault that person with my fist in my hands or that type of stuff? It's because you wanted to make that person compliant. And by making that person compliant, you set up there and you was being selfish. Because we don't got the right to sit up there and tell somebody, do what the fuck I say, or I'm going to do you, or I'm going to break your face, or I'm going to beat your ass, or I'm going to do something like that. We ain't got the right. We need to respect that other person's emotional state of mind. We need to respect however that person is going through what that person is going through. Life is better. Then you grieve a little bit. Okay, I put myself in a situation to get my ass beat. I probably said something when I could have walked away. And if that person that cornered you and everything, hell, you just ain't have a win. You should have took fighting lessons. You should have did something. Pick up the phone, call the police. Anything to get you out of a situation that's gonna have you getting your ass kicked, or to have you come back and do something dangerous or detrimental to yourself or to your family, or be taken away from your loved ones so they can selfishly grieve. You had the opportunity to do all that stuff to become a better person, but you didn't. You gave in to, I gotta get vengeance, or I gotta get me, or selfishly I gotta take up arms and do something and hurt and hit, domestic violence, all that stuff. This is all form of grief because you're selfish and you don't want that person to do something outside of your ideology. Are you guys getting it, right? So how do we process this grief properly? We process grief by allowing the other person to be exactly who the fuck they is, by allowing that other person to do exactly what the hell they want to do, by allowing that person to come and go as they need, and for them doing the same for you. You have to stand up and you have to be strong and you have to say, hey, this shit ain't for me. I can't deal. Y'all know I'm very transparent. I don't be around the bush and I don't sugarcoat shit. It is what it is. You judge me, you judge me. If you think I'm an asshole, think I'm a sweet guy, I am. But if you think I'm just some crazy lunatic preaching nigga, by all means, I'll be that too. I came up with the state of mind from over there with my teaching that if you are not serving me in the greatest good in any capacity, I can't have you around me. Even if I love you to the death, even if I just want you to be the greatest, the best, the most beautiful, the most handsome, the most person in my life, mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, family, if you are not serving me to the simple fact of giving me what the fuck I'm giving you, you need to go. Because what I plan to bring to everybody's life is peace, less stress, and less strife. I plan to bring understanding, solitude, joy, pleasantries if I can, in hopes because I'm respecting you to be the adult, the human, the person that God gave natural will and ability to do what you got to do. Does that mean I'm not going to be human and hurt if you leave me? I'm not going to be human if something get taken away from me that I value, that I play with, that I love. Did that mean that I'm not going to sit up there and miss my motherfucking cell phone when I can't watch my TikTok? Oh, I'm going to feel it, but I'm not going to hold to it to create a whole different persona inside of me to where I have to hate you, miss you, kiss your ass, or anything just to get a feeling from you. Now, I just said something real big. When we now process grief, we look at it as I'm going to become something bigger, stronger, better to make that person, that thing that I'm dealing with love me or get as much enjoyment out of that thing as I can. This is a selfish concept. And when you try to go for something that's not loving you, that's not giving you any fun, that's not doing what it need to do for your mental stimulation, then you sit up there and you get sadness. What I just told you guys. Then you start grieving. I got to learn how to make that thing go the whole time. You get sadness, then you get grief. Y'all follow me here? I'm not kissing your ass because you choose to leave. There we go. Now, as far as somebody can say that, I see a lot of strong comments in this thing about personal relationships with people that you dating, screwing, fucking, however you want to look at it, couples. I see a lot of strong comments with a couple things we could process grief due to that. But why can't we process grief when it comes to the loss of our mother, our father, our son, our daughter? Why can't we sit up there and hold that same energy to it? I'm talking to you now. Some people that lost their mama 20 years ago, their daddy 30 years ago, and they still crying and harking to it. Oh, woe is me. Well, I could have done this. I miss you. I want this. I want that. And you can't walk away from something that's not even in your life, but you can walk away from somebody that's physically flesh and blood, that you have an opportunity to change, or you have an opportunity to give insight to. But something that's not even here, a thought, you can't walk away from a thought. You can't remove yourself out the distance of the simple fact that you done suffered a loss. But the person that you have an opportunity with to make a change to, you'll walk away from their ass quick, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to walk away from that person, and you're going to fill that hole with something else. But you're still going to grieve for the simple fact as why you couldn't make it work, versus saying, I enjoyed that time. Same thing, the living and the dead companion, same thing. We got to learn how to process our grief, people, because this is what's killing us right now. It ain't nobody put no magical spell on you. And I'm finna help you out with. I learned some shit, man. It ain't nobody put no spell work on you 90% of the time. It ain't nobody sitting up there trying to destroy your marriage, trying to destroy your life, trying to make your kids do bad shit, smoke pot, get high. It ain't got nothing to do with that. The simple fact that we don't know how to grieve yet. We don't know the process of grieving, and we grieve by understanding that which is causing us chaos and turmoil. We grieve by saying, that which has given me joy for this point in the moment, up until this point in life, it did its job. Now, if it decide to take off, get lost, break, fold, haul ass, then I need to be secure in myself that it gave me what it gave me, and I gave it what it gave it, and I'm gonna throw my hands up and I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna sit up there and just bite the bullet and go get me a new one. I'm going to sit up there and say, I love the time we shared, but I'm going to cherish you, mama, daddy, father, sister, brother, son, daughter, however, for the time we shared together. And I'm going to let you go and celebrate the simple fact that you ain't got to deal with the fuck shit I got to deal with here. I still got this flesh and blood, pain receptors, stress and bills. I'm going to celebrate your ass walking up out that door. Going to heaven, going to your God, going to your place of spiritual rest. People, we have to learn how to process grief. We're up here fighting amongst each other on these cyber wars in the internet. And I told you, I'm going to step on somebody's feet. I don't give a fuck. I want you guys to understand grief. And the only people that's going to get this is the people who truly are at one with their spirituality. Not somebody that's looking for a nice sound bite or a nice word of the day. You're going to get this when you become secure in yourself, and you have to realize the simple fact that you are just being so selfish. The only reason you ain't grieving for life, love, and liberty is because you're being selfish, because it's all about what that thing could have done for you, what that thing gave you, how it made you feel. I tell my kids to this day, the grown-up kids I got, I say, man, dick and pussy is dick and pussy. I say, but a feeling is forever. I say, so if you get a feeling from dick and pussy, I say, understand that feeling, process that feeling, enjoy that moment, and understand it's your dick and it's her pussy. It is not yours, it is not hers. So when you separate and that shit become dislodged, uninserted, y'all separate again. Don't let that thing control you to the point where you lose your fucking cool and chase it, fight it, and abuse it. Don't let that little pole women get y'all to the point where y'all get yourself out of fucking character and you get into your lowest vibration because you missing it, or because you don't want nobody else to have it, or because you can't understand why the fuck it ain't with you. It's a momentary judgment, enjoyable thing. I hope you guys understand. I'm giving you these analogies because I face this shit myself. I wouldn't sit up here and talk to you about something as an all-seeing guru Agamotto if I ain't have to face these same individual problems. Again, I'm so selfish. I want my mama to get up out that motherfucking grave and come hug her baby boy. But bringing her back would mean she ain't learned, and I have to bring her back with the same energy. And my only thought process, my true thought process of that person is how they treated me. I'm telling you something, people. When you grieve, you're grieving for the simple fact of how that person treated you. Not because you love that person so much. You grieving for the way that person treated you. You had a, let's take it to a more positive side. Let's say you had a loving father, a loving mother, a loving mate. Motherfucker couldn't do no wrong, loved your dirty drawers, cooked for you, folded your clothes, did everything. That person loved the shit out you. And you look at that person and you look at the simple fact that person that here and you saying, damn, that person treated me so good, that person did so much for me, that person just did. You see where the selfishness going? Let's take it back to when the person didn't treat you like shit. And you look at when that person gone, I don't know why that person didn't treat me like this. I could have done so much. I was such a good person. Why they didn't see what I wanted? I could have had more time. I could have done this. I could have been that. We could have did so much together. We could have made some great memories. You see the selfishness in it. But true grief is the sign of letting go. That's true grief. How many of you have heard the title when you see somebody, they say, man, good grief. And it's a relief when they say it. Good grief, man. It's in the words. I told you I had to study this thing to understand it. When somebody yell out good grief, you ever notice their voice is doing a relief, a sigh of relief? And you say, good grief, because they're letting it go. And it gives them that ability to process the remainder of their life or whatever moment they're in, versus sitting up here saying, damn, I wish was a little bit stronger, wish I could have did a little bit of this. Because if you keep that old grief process, you can't go nowhere. And I'm going to tell you something. You guys may not believe it, but grief, that bitch hit you harder than fear any day. Grief and fear don't even belong in the same category. People say fear is false evidence appearing real. Cool, I ain't gonna argue with that. But grief is everything that was real in your life that you could not get a handle on. Everything that was real in your life that made you enjoy it. Everything that was tangible. Grief is something, person, place, or thing that touches every sense in your body, your common sense, your taste, touch, smell, all that stuff. It touches every last single one of them. So that means it was real, it existed. And when it goes away, you are left with the lingering feeling of it. So grief is 10 times worse than fear, because I done seen people die of a broken heart out of grief. I done seen people sit up there and waste away. People that looked like Mr. Jupiter, sexiest man on the planet, that they say, and boom, now they sitting up there and let themselves go. How done fell out. Women that could hold their own against Beyonce and Trina any day just by walking out the house in bath shoes. They let themselves go due to grief of losing a man, losing a spouse, losing a child. People that was once a living icon fall because they done lost their career. It's a grief process. It's a selfish grief process versus looking at it and saying, I had that for a moment. Now let's see what else I could motherfucking get. If I had 1.0, I could get 2.3. If I was sexy then, bitch, let me get my dad body in shape so I can be sexy now. Let me get my ass to the gym, and so I don't have to grieve anymore, so I can move on with a happier sense of life. So Miller Rogers say, your son is in prison and I am grieving his presence. Hey, it's okay to grieve. Now listen, I'm not saying it's not okay to grieve. I'm just saying understand that it is a selfish thing. And why that person might have went to the place they went to, whether it be death, separation, left you for another woman, all that shit there, You guys got to understand the time that you had that person with you. Those are the good times, for good or bad. Those were the good times. Live in it, because you became richer for that person being in your life. You became more educated, more suitable to deal with other outcomes and situations that's going to come up in your life because of that person. So you have to look at it like that. You can't sit up there and say, I hope, wish, and pray that person stay with me forever. I'm going to give you a history lesson because I want you guys to understand. The tyrant warlord Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was a motherfucker. Genghis Khan understood grief, and he was somewhat of a selfish warlord. Great strategist, king of the world. Genghis Khan, I think the parable go when I read his book. He once found the bird, and he thought the bird was so beautiful, so pretty. I'm going to teach you how grief works. He thought the bird was so beautiful, so majestic, but the bird would fly away. So one day he set a trap and he caught the bird. So when he caught the bird, he went up to the bird and he broke that bird's wing. So now the bird couldn't fly away. But after he broke that bird's wing, he came every day to that bird and fed that bird. He nourished that bird. He massaged the bird's wing. He did everything until he got in that bird's head, and then he untied the bird. And the bird was so devoted to him that he could walk around freely, and the bird could never leave. He could leave the bird out in the open, and the bird would never leave because it looked to him. Now, how is that a grieving process? The bird lost its ability to do what birds do, is fly. But because it had been taken care of, and that thing had saved it, well, Genghis Khan had saved the bird in his eyes, because he forgot the simple fact that he was the reason the wings were clipped in the first place. That bird decided to stay in that misery, to stay in there because it became comfortable. This is how grieving works, people. We forget that which gave us our wings to soar, and when that thing goes away, dying, it cripples us and it leaves us, it also broke our wings that we can't fly anymore. But because we were so comfortable with the simple fact of dealing with that person without broken wings, dealing with that situation without limited intelligence, dealing with that situation with our not understanding of freedom, life, and liberty, that we would stay with the oppressor. And that's all grief is. It's an oppressor, people. Learn how to get rid of your oppressor. Grief. Good grief. Let me hear everybody say it. Good grief. Good grief. It's necessary, but it needs to be released in order to move on. Good grief. After you say good grief, it's something that's stressing you out, ideas flow. Life again. You can breathe. You can go piss, shit, do whatever. Good grief. People, learn to process your grief. Learn to process the shit. Learn to process it, please. Learn to look at people for the time you spent with them, for the joy they brought in your life, for that moment, for the conversation you had. When you think about your parents or your children or somebody that you love and they beside you and they go off in the world and God forbid they die, you're gonna hurt. You're gonna feel bad. I get it. But damn it, don't linger in that. Don't stay in that. Don't become that character. It doesn't define you. Because if you linger in that, you become somebody that you don't even like to look at in the mirror. You become comfortable in your grief. You become comfortable with wearing, sweat clothes 365 and taking care of 30 goddamn cats. You become comfortable in it. Because when you sit down, you're in misery. Back in the day, men used to come home with their family after working a hard day, sit down and don't talk to nobody, pop on the TV, and all this regret. Versus, how you doing, wife? How you doing, son? How you doing, kid? Let me walk and feed the dog. It's all about grief. Damn, I had so much as a youth. I lost so much in my older years. You're grieving. I had one of the baddest girls. I was the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Prince couldn't out scuttle me across the stage. You have all that shit in your mind. and you're grieving, but you're sitting in your house and everything that you done built and that you love, that you form a connection with, and you're ignoring it versus dealing with the process that times have changed. Notice what I said, times have changed. If times change, that person you were at that time changed, and now you're a different person, so you need to live in the moment of the simple fact that I am here, I am enjoying the situation, I matter. I'm speaking from experience. I'm that little boy wishing that my mama would come. I'm wishing that my mama would come through that door healthy and happy and give me a hug and tell me how much she loved me and how much she always loved me. Because I never got that. I grieve for the simple fact that when my granddaddy passed, he used to make nice jokes and say stuff like that. I grieve for the simple fact that I ain't gonna hear granddaddy jokes no more. I grieve for the simple fact my grandma ain't gonna come over here and hug me and call me her big thick nigga. I grieve for that. But that's selfish of me. Because they in a better place and I need to say, hey, thank you, grandma, for the time. Now, how does this relate to our ancestors? Okay, y'all ready? This relate to our ancestors, and this is the common ancestor. Remember, there's three tiers I got to my ancestor altar. I got the ones that I knew personally, physically touched. I got the ones that I had an idea of, and then I got the ones for unknown. So for the ones that I actually know, this is how it goes to the ancestors. We have to start freeing our ancestors from the bonds and tribulations that they felt because they are still grieving. They are still grieving for the love of their loved ones, for the death and loss of their loved one, the death and loss of their family and friends, the loss of their equipment, their livelihood, their lives. And they are in bondage and change, and they can't sit up there and say, well, I just move on and I accept the shit because they stuck in a perpetual sense of grieving. And that's where we come in. When we learn to process our grief, that ancestor energy gonna look up there and say, damn, is that what I'm supposed to do? And then that ancestor gonna learn to let that thing go, which was bonding them to this world or to that particular time in life and all that stuff there, and then you heal them on turn and heal yourself. It's a big responsibility and it may go over a lot of people's heads. And that's okay. Because it's gonna hit you when it needs to. You're gonna get the understanding when you need to, like, why am I crying over this shit here? Why am I sitting up here not moving, not enjoying my life? Why am I sitting up here gaining all this weight when I know I like being slim? Why am I sitting up here not eating, getting all anorexic and skinny when I know I like food? Because somebody else, because I lost some man because he wanted a skinny person, and now that person gone, I'm still not gonna enjoy myself and eat and enjoy chocolate ice cream and a pizza here and there because that person, wanted me to be skinny. That person ain't never coming back. Oh, I just wish if I would have done this for that person. And you're grieving, don't know who the fuck you is. You somebody else totally different. You look in the mirror, your face boning up, your face getting chubby, you don't know who you is. And before I sit up here, I'm going to say another thing. When it comes to grief, and this is the hypothetical, when it comes to grief, we think about losing something in our lives. And this thinking about losing is detrimental too. We think about losing our house. We think about losing our cars. We think about losing our loved ones. We think about losing our kids. We think about losing our jobs. We think about losing a lot. We think about losing it. Versus how we should be thinking is, I'm working that bitch right now. I'm finna stack up and do what I gotta do in case I lose it. I'm gonna love and cherish my kids and my mama and my dad and my father and my husband and my wife in case I lose it. I'm gonna sit up there and do the best I can and be the best I can be in case I lose myself one day. So I always have a reference point to look back on. Am I going deep with you people? Am I going deep? Are you understanding where I'm going with this? But if you cherish that thing for what it is in the moment, when it's time for you to separate yourself from that thing, baby, it's okay. You can back up from it. I told you I'm finna teach you how to process grief. Hypothetical, real grief, real loss, fake loss. Now, parents. Here we go, parents. This is falling on your ass today. You have a daughter. You have a son. You have your offspring that you made. And that thing, that person is giving you purity motherfucking hell. It's turning your life upside down. You getting stressed, fucked over. You can't think, hair falling out. You can't work, losing sleep, losing all this because your kid want to be out there acting like an ass, doing some dumb shit, fucking up, telling your business, just giving you purity motherfucking hell. And you sitting up here grieving for the loss of that kid when that kid is right there in your face. Now, what if you let that particular individual go? You say, well, bitch, I'm not gonna let you sit up here and take my life up, tear me up, because you grown, you gotta live yours. You gotta make your own fucking mistakes. And I'm not gonna sit up here and be your whipping post, your string along boy, girl, just so you can feel safe, secure, and happy in the bullshit that you doing, causing all this bullshit in my life. So you get strong enough and you celebrate the time that you did have with your kids, your parents, your loved one, your wife, your mate. And then when that shit start going off the rail, you have to know when to say, I'm taking my hands off of this. I'm backing the fuck up. Are you going to grieve for the loss or the potential? Sure, fuck it is, because you don't want nothing that you created or nothing that you've been around to get hurt, harmed, or leave you. But if you enjoy the time that you have with that person, you could cut that spider leg off and still make a way in life. And when that spider leg falls to the ground, stop moving, then you could come back and pick that thing up. So there's a lot of parents on this here that sit up here and put up with their kids' shit. They sit up there and let their kid drive them to the poorhouse, to the crazy house. Mothers following their sons to prison. Mothers following behind their daughters, trying to kiss ass. Fathers sitting up there trying to make everything right for 5, 6 different kids that ain't even in the household and don't know when to let go. Now, I told you I'm transparent as fuck, but I want you guys to know that I suffer the same thing sometimes. I got a 18-year-old son. Boy got everything he want. Love him to death. Do whatever. He's gonna be a model. That's what he want to do in life. Not an Instagram model, real life model in Europe. So I'm planning to send him to Europe the first of the year to live and in modeling school. Now this kid, my son, is so angry with me to the point where he does dumb shit just to get my attention. I say, hey man, keep your shit, keep your nose clean. Don't run dick up in nobody, get no babies no time soon, because you're not gonna be here to support that kid. You know, you gotta plan, deal with your plan, use condoms, spermicide, whatever it is. Kids sit up there and he's like, oh, I got this girl, she wanna have a baby. You're 18, you don't need one yet, my man. Go live your life, do what you gotta do. To the point, the motherfucker literally trying to make a baby. I say, boys, you stupid. I don't know what's wrong. They been fucking, so I don't know what's wrong, but ain't no baby came out yet. So I say, if you get this girl pregnant, I can't support you going overseas to do your little modeling gig, because then I'll be accessory to you abandoning your responsibility. And I'm definitely not going to pay for her to go over there with you. I'm not a parent. He got mad at me because of that. Well, I'm making my way in life and you said you would help me, so you need to help me. So now he's rebelling by the simple fact, oh, I'm going to get it myself and I'm going to take her with me. Boy, no. Leave that girl where she at. Get your pussy. Leave her where she at. And you go on and do your thing and come back later when you got your money, successful, and career. I had to cut him off because of his negative energy. If you're not going to do what I say for me to help you understand you, I'm not going to grieve your loss if you're not gone. Or let alone, I'm not going to grieve your loss when you go. I'm not going to grieve for you if you couldn't do what the fuck I said that was in your best interest. That's my blood. I'm being transparent. When it comes down to parents and their kids, we sit up there and we kiss their asses because we want their love and affection. And we put ourselves in situations that fucks up our world, our process, our joy. But if we understood how to process the grief that we are going to lose them due to their own ideologies and shit, we'll sit up there and say, okay, it's time for your ass to go, fly the coop, get out of the nest. Good grief. Good grief. Meaning process it, understand it, let it go. Good grief. People say good riddance. That's the same thing as saying good grief. Parents, I'm talking to you now. Relationship, lovers. You sitting up there, you enjoyed the fuck. You enjoyed the time you're together. Person say, hey, I don't want to be with you no more. Bitch, you can't leave me. Pop, 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 boop, boop, boop. Jailhouse, hurting the person. Now the person got a reason to hate you. Now you're never going to experience in your last thought, or that person's last thought of you is danger, detriment, pain, and suffering. Woe is me, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Versus saying, I get it, I'm out. It hurt, I'm out. You go be you, you do you. Same thing. Possession, cars, houses, bank accounts. I had that money, I can get it again. I had a fly whip, I can get it again. Take a little hard work. I was a man, I was a chick, I was that bitch, I was that nigga. However, I had it, I could get it again. Let's get it. You process the simple fact that you lost it, or that you could possibly lose it. Then you move on and you go get it again. That's how you deal with grief. That's how we cure our ancestors from their grieving process, because they died taking it to their grave, not understanding that they needed to let that grief go. So they're stuck with it in a perpetual sense of shoulda, woulda, coulda in the afterlife. And these are the same ancestors we ask to come back and cure our lives, help us fight our battles, help us maintain and understand. But they locked in the sense that they don't understand what the fuck they feel. So all this ancestor worship and ancestor healing is the best thing you can do, not only for yourself but for them, because we got to rely on their energy. We got to rely on their understanding. We got to rely on their knowledge, their experience. Y'all understand me? Whew. How did y'all like that one? To me, it was quick. Hour and a half, man, that's long. How y'all gonna process this, people? How are we gonna process this? We're hurting and we're in pain and we got sorrow because we haven't figured out how to process grief. Physical grief, mental grief, emotional grief. We haven't figured out how to do it, but I'm telling you how to do it. Love what it is that you love for the time that you are allowed to love it, and understand when it's time to be let go, let it go. Let it be. Set it free. I guarantee you'll be happier. And that which you let go truly will come back. Whether they come back looking for a little pussy, looking for a little dick, they're going to come back. Whether they're coming back to get a hug on Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Christmas, they're going to come back. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it right now. Pagan. Nicole say, never heard it before. I told my daughter this and had to realize it myself. Good grief. There we go. There we go. Ola BC. There we go. Declutter my house showed me this. Oh, look it up. Talk to him, Ella. Diamond Till Jackson, you agree? I like that. I like that. We got to start agreeing, man. It's refreshing. Thank you. Hey, Blue Job, this is what I'm here for. We gotta heal. We out here talking about the ancestors, man. We gotta really dive deep. Dive deep, man. We haven't had a chance to touch them, to talk to them, to be with them, to hang out with them. We haven't had that. We've been blind, crippled, and crazy due to Christianity and everything that came along with it. Process your griefs, people. Process it. Understand that person who you sitting up there wanting and desiring, if that person can be yours, or that person was yours and it went away, God damn it, don't get mad at it. Don't hate it. Respect it. Enjoy it. Hey, you had to go. It's cool. Let it ride. Tez, what's up? The thoughts you've been having, Rudy. It's all right now. To the generational curses, members in your family. There you go. Good grief. Love them for what they do, but if they're a toxic piece of waste, get rid of them. Mm-mm-mm. Yep. What she say? The clear people say that all the time. Good grief, because they know how to let go. That's why they keep moving. That's why they grow so bad in the power world of good grief. Shit, let it go. Let's move on. Let's move forward. We the only ones sit up there and, oh Lord, I just can't imagine losing. I'd rather die too. I ain't dying for no fucking body. I love my kids, but guess what? If you can't do it the fuck I say, your ass cut off. My old lady, she can't get with the program. Baby, I love you. You gotta go. You got a husband. If he ain't making you feel right, don't boot thing. Get your ass on out the door. Pack them boots and go now. You gotta understand the grieving process is what holds us back, and that's one of the things that Bible taught us how to grieve. Because we still grieving for the Messiah. Oh shit, am I getting a little too deep in this bitch? Everybody that's worshiping Christ or a Christ variant are sitting up here grieving because he died, and we supposed to be in mourning, and he died and rose. And nobody ever say that it's time to stop grieving for him. It's time to stop grieving. Yeah, the book say he rose again, so why the fuck we sad? He's not dead. He alive, they say. You believe it? So why the fuck we still sitting up there talking about every day how he died for us? I learned something over here. Going back to these Anglican Christians and all these old priest sects. Why the fuck are we in mourning or grieving the loss of a deity? This is how we were taught grief. We grieving the loss because we didn't have a chance to spend our time with him. We didn't have a chance to touch the hem of his garment. We didn't have a chance to walk with him, right? So we need to grieve that he died before we got to do that, knowing that in the time era we were born, we would never be able to do it. So now we're grieving so much that we are waiting for him to come back so we can get a chance to do it. Holy fucking shit. And what grieving do, people? It keeps you in prison. It keeps you stagnant. What does religion do, people? Keep you in prison, keep you stagnant. And every religion on the planet talks about grief, and it put grief in the forefront of everything. So now, if I just taught you how to process grief, to understand that when you were going to the church and you heard those stories of, let's say you're Christian, you heard those stories of that. Now you process it for the time that it made you feel good and the time that that book helped you through your life. But it come a time where you have to leave that book alone and explore something else. So don't feel sorry for not being able to understand that book in the past, but feel grateful because it gave you a jump off point, a launching point for you to go and explore something else. You see how it go? Relationships the same way. Religion the same way. I hope I taught you something. We was taught grief. Our ancestors were taught grief. Back in Africa, back in the native country of Ireland, Scotland, and the old heads before religion came to be, with everything was spiritual, there was no such thing as grief. It was all about sorrow. I feel sorry that I'm going to miss you, but I got to let you go. In Louisiana, they party. They sad and they enjoy and they party their ass up. They'll walk 10,000 blocks and celebrate they'll walk you to the cemetery in a party. Bitch, go out in a blaze of glory. You know how helpful that is in processing your grief, to know that everybody's dancing and celebrating you, parties being thrown, music being played. It's a celebration, but here we sit up there and we mourn for 3 days. We don't want to do nothing. We'll sit on our knees and be in pain and don't eat, suffer, cry, drink, get fucked up in order to process grief. And now you got fears, bulls, demons coming out, and you can't understand why you just want to go and cut your fucking wrist or jump off a building or hang yourself. reset, because you don't know how to process grief. And for everybody to sit up there and rub you on your back and say, it's okay to grieve, it's okay to recognize your loss, but it is not okay to grieve forever. It's okay to remember the good times, so carry that with you. And let's not grieve about it. We love that person. That person was what they needed to be for us at that time. Now we got to be what we need to be for somebody else at another time. And I'll leave it right there, people. How y'all feeling? Yeah, beat them drums and dance. Celebrate life. Grief can turn into stress. There you go. There you go, Peggy. You seen it. For my father's funeral, we had a moment of grief, then had a party. That's right. Hey, listen. When I go to Georgia, my Georgia family, somebody died in that Georgia family. Man, the party didn't stop for 7 days. People were laying on the floor, sleeping on the porch, in their car sleeping. Cause it wasn't nobody sad. Everybody enjoyed themselves for 7 days after the funeral. It was so bad that that they ate every bit of food in the house. To the auntie them had to come out there. Get your ass, go home. Bitch, the funeral over. We had to curse, bitch. Get in your shit and leave. Cause they was in such a good mood and nobody left sad. Nobody sitting up there looking at a bitch on a t-shirt saying, woe is me. Damn, I miss my dog. And, oh, I love her. It was like, man, boy, auntie used to do this right here. Daddy used to do this right here. Uncle Booney used to do this right here. Yeah, boy. Everybody left happy because we celebrated for the simple fact that they existed. We processed that grief during the time that casket was closed. Bomb. Afterwards, it's a celebration, and no bad story is told. Everybody's saying good shit. This is the rule in our family at our funerals in Georgia. You can't say, I don't care that person sat up there and shot 13 people. Don't bring that up. That person was good. This is what they did for me. This is the good stuff. Granted, that person could have been a piece of shit. This is the good stuff. Process. Oh, that motherfucker made us feel good. I don't know. That bitch you robbed the sweet out of sugar, but baby, when he came around, you had a good motherfucking time. You're laughing, you're happy, you're processing your grief. Now you're moving on. Now it's a celebration of life. Camilla, Albany, Valdosta, all them good places. All right. Oh yeah, man, I got some savages in my family, boy. They'll rock the sweet out of sugar, take the wetness out of vagina. They are just hardcore people, boy. Just hardcore people. But when it come to partying and getting it down, shit, bitch, you cannot out party us. You cannot out party us, bitch. We'll knock on your door after you sleep. Wake on up, bitch. You done had 3 hours of sleep. Let's get it again. Music start playing 4:30 in the morning. Boom, boom, going to the just couch. Chicken Shack George. You just hear all that shit and damn, nigga, I'm tired. I ain't even gonna brush my teeth. Just throw some mouthwash and take a whole bath and get on out the door and let's party and drink again. Let's party and enjoy life. Let's party. 7 days we partied till we had no food in there. We told bitches go. Leave $10 in the plate when you leave so I can replenish the motherfucking grocery. That's how our family works. Get the fuck on out of here. Going back to your goddamn home. But after somebody passing out, girl, we are going for 7 days and it's a party. After that casket closed and that person in that ground, bitch, we partying. I'm telling you, I remember, man, when I was up there, man, I stayed up there so long. I stayed up there for like 10 days partying. I probably took a bath 3 times. And, man, let me get this motherfucking water. Nigga, sour. Going in there. I'm in the shower. Everybody coming in there pissing and shit. Man, I'm bathing. So you didn't want to go in there because they just barge in and And then you don't want to make ear contact with them because now they're gonna start talking to you while you taking a shit or trying to shower or something. So you just be quiet as a fucking mouse and hope they don't start conversation. Because my family, we'll turn our head, you be in there watching, yeah, we'll look at the wall, and then you know what Uncle Spoolo did? Spoolo, whatever. Like, man, could you get the fuck out of here? I'm shitting. And it'd be so funny because it's like, how you gonna be that? Man, it's just crazy. This is how our family do. And when we separate, man, it is a celebration of life. This is family talk. This is how I was taught to process death and funerals. So we don't hurt too long. But my family here, man, they get drunk, they get miserable, they want to get mad at everybody. I wish a nigga would say something about my grandma. I wish a nigga would say something. The fuck, man? Person was a piece of shit, bro. Accept that shit, but they made you happy. Because they haven't learned how to process grief the way we have. And I'm teaching you how to process grief, how my family taught. Celebrate the life of the person that was there, for the moment you shared. Then, when they take off, enjoy it. Remember the memory. Don't hate the simple fact of living in that perpetual state of fuckery. Aspect of the person instead of the bad thing. Yeah, KKMB, you're absolutely correct. So I done had you guys here a long time. Queen Jackson, we were laughing at old memories too. I'm telling you, that's how you do it. Old memories, man. I mean, it was some stuff, man. I tell you. So I had an uncle out there in Georgia. The motherfucker had the best beard. I got a good beard. But his beard, he could cut that bitch and next the beard grow. Beautiful beard. Beautiful. Motherfucker grow a beard in a year. Shit me down here. And trim it up. Motherfucker look good. So one day he wanted to put S curl in his beard to make it curly like his hair. He wanted to match. So he put the S curl in it. Put the S curl in the top of the head. So he thought he was gonna look like one of them Ebony magazine motherfucking perm boxes for men. So he happy. Man, that bitch walked out that bathroom. The next day he looked good. He had the little rollers in his head. That motherfucker went home, woke up, did the pumper strut. That bitch walked in that door. That beard started falling out with clumps and shit. And what the fuck? He got the comb and started picking his hair and shit. All them clumps. He had put too much shit. Boy, we laughed our ass off. And because we had to go to church, he had to sit up there in church 2-3 hours with everybody looking at him just laughing. And he heard the laughs and the snickers because we couldn't hold it back either. That motherfucker hurt, boy. And this is what we told at his funeral, because he was always a stylish cat. Well, he fucked up trying to get an S curl, and all this shit fell out. The beard gone, hair gone. And we were laughing. So I mean, this is how we celebrate. We'll tell your most embarrassing story and the good things you did. We don't let nobody get up there and say you was a piece of shit. We don't want to dwell on that. People, this is how you gotta grieve. When you're in relationships and you lose that person who you were with 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years, you sit up there and you laugh. You call that person up and you could be mad. That person could cheat on you, hold around, do whatever. And you say, well, remember you used to sit up there and remember when you walked out the door and cheated on yourself and you forgot your keys to get back in? Bitch, that was fucked up. Remember when you sit there and bought me them roses and you drove 1,300 miles just to take me to the water because I was sad? You say shit like that. The person, yeah, I remember that shit. Now that person is sorry for the simple fact of losing you. I mean, but it's a whole psychological thing. But y'all gonna get there. So, did you guys learn how to process grief the way my family do? Is it a good way? I'm gonna see some comments before I get off of here. Is the way my family taught me how to process grief? My Georgia family taught me how to process. Is this a good thing? Have you peeing on yourself? You know it. Is this a good way to process grief? Do you think that once you let go and understand that which came in your life is there for that moment, that once it's gone, you don't have to be sorrow, sad, or angry? Is this a good way to process it? Do you think you can live on and go on and make your money, make your life, get remarried, get in another relationship, find yourself again, become the better version of you that you always wanted to be, that you couldn't be because your wings were clipped, you felt? Do you think the way my family taught me to grieve, I'm going to say my Georgia family, do you think if you adopt a little bit of that, you can be good? I do. I am. All right, it's been an hour, 20 minutes. I'm finna get off this thing. I got a lot of work to do. Uh, I'm getting caught up, people. I will be returning phone calls and emails. I'm gonna say, give me till Wednesday. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm catching up big time, big time. So I'm not ignoring you guys. I promise. I'm not ignoring your emails or anything. There will be a new number switch. Everybody who had my old WhatsApp number, I'm doing away with it. Uh, I'm doing away with the WhatsApp number and everything. So I'm going to be doing away with just about every single thing. And everything will be on a new phone number that's coming up. So if you already booked the reading, you'll have the old. But once the future bookings of the reading, everything will be here. Uh, Moving forward, I realize that I don't want to do any more video chats. I don't want to do any more video chats. Uh, I got my own personal reason. It's an eye thing, really. It's a window into the soul thing. So I don't want to do any more video chats. But if you are out of the country, I will make sure you have my WhatsApp or my proper Instagram link so that we can talk like that, so you won't be charged anything. But moving forward, there's a lot of changes because a lot of people was abusing the simple fact that they had that number. They was abusing it, and just being real, I gotta set some boundary somewhere, and that's why I'm changing it. So moving forward, that number will not be in existence anymore. Everything is gonna switch to a different platform. So when you book a new reading, you're gonna get a new number. It's all digital, automated, so I'll be able to tell when you call, who you call. You won't be able to call private. It won't accept that. It's gonna be the real way because I gotta do stuff to protect myself from people who get readings and then try some shit. Granted, it takes about 4 days for the cycle, but with this right here, it's an instant boom. It records. It's a whole new service. It records everything, the voice conversation. It lets you know. So ain't gonna be no more of these hardcore fake ass people slick robbing spirit. So that's how we're gonna move it forward. All right, everybody, True Spook is coming up. I'm going to have a special holiday True Spook story. I hope you guys can appreciate it. I don't know if I should let it go on December or prior, but you're going to get various True Spooks leading up into that day. But this one holiday one, I really want to share it. I don't know, should I share it, the first Thursday in December or whatever? I don't know. Or should I share it around by Christmas time? But you're gonna love that one. I'm working on that one, and I had to call my auntie and them to get some real factual evidence. So I want to make sure my memory is okay. So True Spook TV every Thursday, 2 p.m. Come there, see what's going on. Hey, everybody who are on the regular Barons, the Baron Speaks to You and the S.O.L.Matters Instagram, y'all go to True Spook and build it up. I got like 4 pictures. I'm gonna start uploading more pictures because I want to make True Spook go a little bit mainstream. I understand with tarot and occult practice and spirituality, don't too many people want to share because they don't want people in their business. But you guys can share that True Spook. That's just crazy bitching talking story. I mean, and I want to build that channel up there because again, somebody keep reporting that I'm cursing too much in the stories, and they're sending, and YouTube is sending me emails saying I'm violating their agreement. I say it's not made for children, but they said it's offending a lot of people. So cancel culture, maybe it's some people that don't like me, I don't know, but cancel culture are reporting a lot of the shit to YouTube on the True Spook channel because they say I'm cursing after every 3 words, or I'm using too many curse words, and I'm like, I can't tell the story if I don't verbatimly speak how people spoke back in the day. It loses its luster. So YouTube having something to email back, but they said that a lot of people was reporting me. So everybody go over there and make that channel blow up. You know, I guess if I got a lot of subscribers over there, then they'll be like, well, we got to leave it alone. You know, he is bringing in something. And by the way, I'm not getting paid for that because they stopped my monetization on that channel because a lot of people report it. So y'all are getting these stories, just stories. I'm not even getting paid off that channel. So I hope you guys just thinking not robbery to go over there and start subscribing to that channel, True Spook TV. Start subscribing to that channel there and blow me up. I got 26,000 on the Baron. I would like the same over there because I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to receive anything from that channel because of all the people reporting it and trying to get me banned and canceled. They tried it with this channel, but this channel is popular. But that one, and I don't know who it is, but God help them if they have that much animosity and hatred. God bless you. So True Spook TV every Thursday. Time for a podcast. I hear you, Eagle. I hear you. I don't know how to work it. I don't know how to get paid from it. So I'll be calling on your expertise. Yeah, so True Spook TV every Thursday, 2 p.m. Come through. Real stories from my childhood. A lot of mysticism. And don't forget, Grandma be running. Grandma be running the thing. Grandma was a hero of Central Florida, I think. I love that woman. All right. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out the Baron. I am probably one of the most consistent YouTubers out there. You get 3 videos a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's people that I do readings from, and I'm the real deal. And I thank people for allowing me to record them and put them up there. And a lot of those readings help people who is not even them because of the information and the spell work and analogy that's given. It helps people to see them. So please go there. And again, I'm going to say share me with your friends, but if it's a little too much, I do understand. But please just like a video. I be getting 1,700 people watching a bit and only get 43 likes. And I do understand we watching on our TV and shit, but hit the button, get my algorithm right. This is how I get paid. I do this full time, people. So I ain't saying you gotta watch a commercial, but if you watch a commercial, I ain't gonna be mad at you. I think that's how we get paid still. Patreon, the second Saturday of the month, I do teaching. Please be in attendance. If you're a Patreon member, please be in attendance. You will get some great education. I'm going to teach you. I ain't going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to teach you something that's going to blow your mind. I'm going to amp your spiritual worship or your spiritual interaction. I'm going to amp it 100%. From here on out, there's going to be stones. I'm going to teach you the proper stones, the proper things, and the meanings of a lot of stuff that you can add to your meditation and your spiritual work and all that stuff there to make it proper and the reason why. So please, the second Saturday of the month on Patreon, for my Patreon, this is going to be teaching Back in the Swing Effect. I'm giving you guys the blood raw truth. Also, the second Tuesday of the month is the Baron Tarot Patreon one question giveaway. I'm back in effect on that one right there. And so this is how we're gonna do it. So be there. I'm gonna say I think that's either 7:30 or 8:30 on Tuesdays. I can't remember because I haven't done it in a month. But yes, just be looking for the link. It'll be there. 8:30. Thank you, Ella. So 8:30. Be there for the Patreon one question tarot giveaway on the second Tuesday of the month. Please don't come with life-threatening answers. Will I die tomorrow? Please don't. Will my grandma, mama, uncle die? Please don't give me no death questions. Just light questions to get you through whatever you're going through. And if you need a more in-depth reading, that's what we got the website there for to book it, okay? And that's all I gotta say. People, I am getting my energy back. I am getting my land legs back. I am getting back into the swing of things. Still purging, so by Wednesday I should be done with the purging. And I should be okay, and I should be back in full Baron action. So please allow me to finish that up, and we're gonna be rocking it together. So I ain't gonna hold you guys up no more. I done enough advertising. I hope I hit every channel, everything that I do, and then beg you enough. And I just want to tell you guys, trust in you and the universe, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all. Soul Tribe.